Hey there, it's another Tuesday. Welcome to Eqay Inspire YouTube channel. Today we'll be talking about how to change your past. Now, what is your past? Why does it need changing? And what is the only way through which it can be done? Now, the simple definition of your past that I would like to present to you is that it is everything you have done from the moment you were born until this time. That is your past. Everything you have done from the moment you were born until this present moment is your past. Now, why is that so interesting? It's interesting because everything within that time period is frozen. It is called your past and it is frozen. You can't touch it, you can't modify it, you can't make it different. And it affects your life presently and into the future. So it's very important. Many people have the idea that the past is gone, so you can put your past behind you and move on. But the past doesn't go away. The past is a permanent part of your life, of your present and your future. And it determines what happens to you presently, and it will determine some of the things that will happen to you in the future. That is what your past is. It is the part of your life that you cannot touch anymore, you cannot modify anymore. However, it affects you presently and will affect you in the future. How important is that? So it's not so easy to just put your past behind you and move on. Just to give you another picture, think of creating an ice cream design. Perhaps you are writing somebody's name on it. If you do that, it gets frozen, then you serve to the person, okay? Now, one of the most crucial moments in that process is the moment that you are putting this ice cream into the fridge. Because if anything is distorted at that point, it gets frozen and you can't change it anymore. If the mistake happened earlier on, you could just modify it during the making process before transferring into the fridge. You get a point? So the present moment is constantly a moment of putting things into the fridge. And once you put them into the fridge, they become the past. They become frozen and you cannot touch them necessarily anymore. So the present moment does one of two things. It can make you be grateful for what you have done, or it can make you be regretful for what you have done. Because whatever you are doing right now is going into the frozen part of your life, and you will look back onto it with gratitude or regret. So you have to live each moment as though you are keeping things in the fridge and they will never be changed again. So that's what your past is. And that's what the present moment does to your activities that become your past. The present moment freezes the activities that become your past. You need to get this. Now, when I tell you that your past determines your present and your future, you gotta believe me. You can ask an ex-convict or a person who has been imprisoned for murder. That person is always called a murderer. Whatever crime he committed, he's always tagged with the name criminal. It doesn't go away, and it determines the kind of jobs they can get. It determines whether they can get jobs at all, and it determines whether they will live their lives in freedom or in conviction forever. He cannot change that past, but it affects him for the rest of his life. And quite frankly, wherever you are is a result of the decisions you have made in your past. So our past, which is frozen, affects our present and determines our future for the most part. The same scenario plays to the person who is seeking a job. If you are seeking a job, you will present your CV or you'll be interviewed concerning your past experiences.
Alright, okay, wow, okay, good, oh nice, wow, alright, okay. So what did you go to school again? Oh, okay, oh I see. So you were the class captain, you were the class rep for your class? Oh, and you're also a leader in your church. Alright, okay. So what were some of your major achievements? Oh, you led evangelism. Okay. Oh, nice. Wow, your class was the first in the competition. So that was basically what you did. Oh, nice. Oh, well done. Oh, okay, that's good.
And that is used to judge your performance in the present workplace. And what if you changed? What if you were there for a different purpose? What if you weren't going to exhibit the same characteristics you exhibited in your previous circumstances? Guess what?
Nobody cares.
All they want is your past, and they use that to judge what you're coming to do now. So these past experiences are gone, they are frozen. You can't touch or modify them, but they are there to determine whether you can get this job in the present moment, and it affects you in the future as well. Because if you lied and were dismissed at a point, you are regarded as a person who lies. And wherever that record goes, it affects you. So the past is not modifiable necessarily, except for what we will be talking about today, but it affects you for the largest part of your present and your future. And interestingly, the Bible says that everyone will die and be judged according to what they have done, not according to what they have decided to do. Everything they do, good or bad, they will receive a reward for it. So everything you do today and everywhere you go, it is your past that will be used to judge what you can do, and that will be used to judge you for who you are. Your past literally rules your life today. This is why it is important to do whatever you can do to change it, especially if you have lived it in a way that it affects you negatively. So if you have a bad past or a very negative past, you need to be able to change that past into something that will benefit you. And if you have a past that is just mediocre, it also affects you so much that you need to change it into something that is more positive, that can cause breakthroughs in your life, left, right, center. There are people whose past is so rich and enriched that wherever they go, they are treated like kings and queens. And you deserve to be one of those people. So I'm here to show you how you can change that past, whether it's mediocre or very negative that it haunts you, or however it is. If it is not in the place where it is pushing you towards breakthrough and fulfillment in life, you got to make some changes. And how is that possible? Now, there is only one way that the past can be changed. Well, you can call this my discovery, and that's just the only getaway. And that is the fact that the past keeps adding on. However bad the past is, however negative the past is right now, it is not the same as the past you will have tomorrow. The past you will have until this moment you're watching this video will be different from the past you will have by the same time tomorrow. And the difference will be what you do between now and tomorrow by the same time. You get it? The past you had yesterday is not the same as the past you have today, and the difference is what you did yesterday. The past you have until this week is not the same as the past you have until next week, and the difference will be what you do this week. The past you have until this year won't be the same as the past you have until same time next year, and the difference will be what you will do within this coming year. If you do so much positive things in this coming 1 year, it could change your story so much by this same time next year, and it could effectively have modified the past you have all your life. So your yesterday may be ugly and be affecting you in every negative way, but it will be beautiful tomorrow and affect you in every positive way if you live today well. Changing your past doesn't mean you can go modify the frozen part of your life, but what it means is that you can add a better taste of ice cream to the bitter one that was already stocked in place. So much so that you keep adding on positives to the extent that it overshadows the negative part of your life you've lived, and you live the rest of your life in that positive light. That new past begins to affect you positively, begins to open doors for you, begins to do a lot of good things for you that the previous past, which was negative, could not do. Now, a classical example once again is your CV. Today, you may have a CV that is so inadequate, but depending on what you do between now and a period of time, you could change that story so that the next time you present your CV somewhere, it is filled with so much achievements that you are seen as the best candidate for the position. See? So if there is something you must do, don't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a different paragraph in your life story. Don't wait for the next hour, because that's a different line in your life story. Don't wait for the next minute, because that's a different phrase in your life story. Do it now and do it exceedingly well, because that is the quickest way to change your past so it affects your life positively for the better. So that is today's message. It was short, but I hope it was fulfilling, and I hope it has changed something about you. Eqay Inspire, remember, is your wellspring of life transforming videos. So see you next week, Tuesday.